Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to Las Vegas in the trucks and Martinsville in the Cup Series. The Truck Series schedule in NASCAR Heat 3 was kind of glitched, so that's why Vegas is some reason on the Martinsville weekend, so it's all over the place. But we had Jeff Lucas, obviously a subscriber, in the truck. He started down in about 16th or 18th or so, and he would move his way forwards a bit. Couldn't quite get to a top 10 in this race. Now as you see him down on the final lap now as he went through into turns 3 and turns 4, coming through, trying to make it 3 wide there on the outside of the 45, and with the 22 of Austin Wayne Self as he went down the front straightaway, coming through the trial where Jeff Lucas would come through to get the 14th finishing position here in Las Vegas, which was pretty solid. Nothing to be disappointed about, and so hopefully you can keep up this momentum and get towards a top 10 finish here within the coming episodes. But now it's time to set our sights on the Cup Series race here at Martinsville. We swept Martinsville last season, obviously, with a spring race win and a playoff win at Martinsville. So hopefully we can continue the dominance at Martinsville today. And as we came through turns 3 and turns 4 on our qualifying attempt, we're going to be starting a little bit down the field outside of the top 10 as we come through to cross the line, 19.411, just outside the top 10 in P12. So certainly going to have a little bit of work to do here at the Martinsville Paperclip. So let's see if we can move our way forwards here at Martinsville Speedway.
We're coming to you live from Martinsville Speedway in Ridgeway, Virginia, for the running of the STP 500. Known as the Paperclip due to its unique shape, this historic track is the shortest in NASCAR, at just over a half-mile in length. Opened in 1947, Martinsville is also the only track to be on the NASCAR circuit since the very beginning. This historic venue is overflowing with NASCAR tradition and memories. Today, it's also overflowing with fans excited to see our first short track event of the year. So grab a chair and settle in. NASCAR racing is coming up next.
All right, we're ready to go green here for the STP 500 at Martinsville Speedway. Chris Buescher failed technical inspection, so he will be starting at the back, and that is your only note coming into this race as we get ready to go here at the Paperclip. Daniel Suarez and his teammate of Kevin Harvick on the front row now as the green flag is up. We are on our way. Can Daniel Suarez get his first Cup Series victory, the Xfinity champion back from 2016, I believe it was. Now let's go down into turns 1 and turns 2 on the outside of Eric Almirola there. Now as we head down the back straightaway, Suarez out to a clear lead now as he goes down through turn 3. Martin Truex Jr. at this point had moved up into the second position as we come through turn 3, now exiting turn 4, heading down the front straightaway to come through to complete the first lap here in Martinsville. Our teammate Alex Bowman gets to my inside. We drop down to P14 early on here in Martinsville. Now let's get clear of our teammate though, William Byron, so I can fall in line behind Bowman there in the number 88 car as he went down through turn 3. We are lit to the inside of Blaney, and we would be able to move our way forwards here, obviously, on this inside line. A little bit of contact there with Blaney, but we would move past him now on lap 3 and also look to the inside of Boyer as we came out of turn 4, trying to take the 12th position away from Boyer. Now as you cross the line with 28 to go in this first stage, so up to P12 at this point. And as we came through on lap 6, now looking up the inside of our teammate of Bowman, they're getting onto the curb into turn 3, but thankfully we do not hit him and take P11 now. And as we came through on lap 15, sitting behind 10th place of Denny Hamlin, this is kind of where we would start to get stuck. I was just trying my best to get around Denny, but I just couldn't find a way to get to his inside. Now as we went down into turns 1, at this point only 16 laps remain in the first stage. We get up his inside, but he has such a good exit to the corner that I just couldn't quite get past Denny Hamlin. So we were just relying on lap traffic now, but as we came through on lap 22 with 10 to go in the stage, we had actually gotten to the inside of Hamlin there as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. At this point we were running into lap traffic now here late in the first stage as we would clear Hamlin for 10th, and now as we came to lap 24, jumping up to the top on the outside of Almirola and Kyle Busch. But now there's a problem of Kevin Harvick being up top as well, and you'd think he'd be moving forward, but no, he wasn't going anywhere. He was actually going backwards. So now I get stuck behind the 4 of Harvick, and he isn't moving at all. So I was starting to get a little bit frustrated here and there, hoping that I could get past Harvick, but he was just in my way the whole time, and we would fall down to P12 because of this. Now as we were approaching the final lap here in the first stage on the outside of Alex Bowman, getting a little aggravated with Harvick, getting ready to give him the bumper there as we go through turns 1 and turns 2. And as we head down the back straightaway for the final time in the first stage, right on the bumper of Harvick, we're going to give him the bumper as we go down into turn 3, move him up the track now 3 wide between myself, Bowman, and Harvick. And as we come out of turn 4, we're going to actually get up to P10 there as we come through across the line. So 1 point in the stage, as I was just really annoyed with Kevin Harvick being in my way for the last 10 laps or so, so I decided to just move him when we went into turn 3. Not the way I wanted to do it, but Daniel Suarez picks up a playoff point, winning stage 1, so a great result for one of my favorite drivers in the Cup Series, Larson. The other one not doing very well so far, as it seems, as we would not pit, so we would come up still P10 as we get ready to start the second stage. Suarez and Truex lead the way now as the green flag is out. Stage 2 is underway here in Martinsville as we head down towards turns 1. It is a 30-lap stage 2. Now it's Kevin Harvick's right on my back bumper, a little bit concerned that maybe he wants to get a little bit of retaliation now as we head down the back straightaway on the outside of our teammate Bowman, trying to get to the inside, but unfortunately Bowman's nose is still there, so I couldn't quite get clear. As now Chase Elliott, our Hendrick teammate, has moved up into second, the best running Hendrick car right now. As we get down to the inside, though, just in front of William Byron, as we have the other 3 Hendrick cars obviously grouped up here, Bowman, myself, and Byron, as we exit turn 2 on the inside of Eric Almirola, heading down the back straightaway, trying to put the pressure on Bowman. Now as we're going to look to the inside of him as we go down into turn 3 behind Kurt Busch and move up to P9. And we get a little bit of oversteer on the exit of the corner, but now we ran into another problem of getting stuck behind Kurt Busch this time, like we were with Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. So now we cut to lap 12 of the stage, right on the back bumper of Kurt Busch, but out of turn 4, we build up a big run on the back of the 1 car. So we're going to try and look to the inside, but he's going to go defensive, and we're going to get into the back of Kurt Busch as we go down into turns 1 and up the hill we go. But Kurt Busch and myself both hold on to the car now as we exit the corner, and thankfully no incident there. But now as we came to lap 18, now running into lap traffic, now I jump up to the top to the outside of Kurt Busch. A little bit of a rough race so far here in Martinsville. Now as there's trouble up ahead here with 12 to go on the stage, we have Chris Buescher up on the outside, well spun out, no caution at the moment. The green flag is still out as we exit the corner. And now Almirola looks to my inside as we head down towards turn 3. I'm going to send it in pretty deep just to make sure I can hold on to that inside line behind Kurt Busch. Now as we came to lap 20, the next lap, now we have more issues up ahead. Someone is stopping in front of the field or something, so we're all checking. I'm not sure what's going on here now as we exit turn 2 behind Kurt Busch. There's we're going to get checked up just again because I thought he was about to drive up into the front bumper of me. Now as we come through into turns 1, we get punted from Menard, and now up the hill we go. Big contact with Byron and Menard now as we almost hit the water barrels, and the caution's going to fly here at Martinsville. Absolute calamity here at the paperclip, getting very rough now in the second stage as we would stay out, no one would pit, but now we set P15 after that. Menard just went to turn 3 and just straight up punted me, and now we have bumper damage, and I know that means we're going to have a very loose car for the final 7 laps of the stage. As we get into the back of our teammate of Alex Bowman, Suarez still leading the way as we get very sideways on the exit of turn 2. We hold on to the car, but now we're just going to continue to deal with a very an oversteery car to the end of stage 2. Obviously we got to get to the end of the stage before we can pit, so just trying to survive. It doesn't look like we're going to get stage points here in stage 2. Having a very rough go at Martinsville so far today. Now as we exit turn 2, heading down the front straightaway, certainly some short track temper starting to come into play now as we go down into turn 3 behind Eric Jones. As he would look to the inside of Harvick, we would come through to pass Harvick as well as Eric Almirola and move up into P12 as we came through, approaching the final lap now in the second stage, getting very sideways again on the exit of the corners. The white flag now for stage 2 is in the air as we go down into turns 1. They're getting onto the curb there as we get sideways, but thankfully we hang onto the car, just dealing with a terribly driving car at the end of the stage as we go down the back straightaway for the final time here in stage 2 through turn 3, just in front of the 42 Credit One Bank car piloted by Kyle Larson. There as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway, we would come through to get P12 in the second stage. Very disappointing considering our track record at this track recently, but I know for a fact we can get up there still, and we still have enough time to do that. Daniel Suarez won the second stage again, so he gets another playoff point as we would come to pit road for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and we would drop 17 positions to P29. A bunch of slow cars stayed out, so this is going to be a very interesting final stage. Now as the green flag is once again out, and we are underway on the inside there. The 4 of Harvick now is able to move up the track. Thank goodness there's no black flags. That would have been a penalty for me there as we switch lanes. I've never actually restarted in the middle of a corner at Martinsville, so that was certainly a bit of a learning curve now as we exit turn 2 on the inside still of Kevin Harvick as we head down the back straightaway towards turn 3, getting hard on the brakes, but we're getting into the back there of the 10 of Almirola. Is certainly struggling here with everyone checking up now as we came out of turn 4, but we need to be aggressive here at the beginning of the stage, gain as many spots as possible. Now we're going to make it 3 wide with Almirola and Harvick, and look to the inside as well of our teammate of William Byron as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway up to P27 as we could send it up the inside now of of Bowman. We get into the back of him, but thankfully no one gets wrecked now as we came through on lap 51 to go. We had actually moved up now into P20, just continuing to move my way forwards as we had now had a line of cars on the inside dealing with all the slow cars. So obviously I'm taking advantage of it, and I move up to the top, and we start moving our way forwards now as we exit turn 4 on the outside of the 2 of Brad Keselowski. So we moved up into the top 20, and now up into the top 15 as we came through on lap 79, hitting lap 80. Suarez has fallen down to 13th now as we go down into turn 1. But all the slow cars up ahead were certainly playing an advantage to myself now as we head down the back straightaway behind Martin Truex Jr. here in P15, trying to get ahead of Denny Hamlin as we do clear him. And now look at the outside of Martin Truex Jr. as we came out of turn 4. But Truex, he would actually be able to get back to my inside as we came through a few laps later on lap 83. Truex still there on the bottom now as we approach the back bumper of Kyle Busch and Daniel Suarez. We're going to clear Truex on the outside of the corner, and now we're going to try to make it 3 wide with Suarez and Kyle Busch as go down towards turns 1. Truex lays the bumper to me, and he gets me pushed up the track. He just punted me into turn 1, and now he gets to my inside. I was really fuming at this point because we've been punted I don't know how many times, so we're going to get revenge on Truex as we go down into turn 3, driving straight through him as we exit turn 4. The green flag stays out. I consider that executed perfectly on Truex now as we hit 41 to go, and we would quickly run down the cars up ahead, but unfortunately getting that revenge on Truex. You see in the left side of your screen, our front bumper is red now as we make us 3 wide once again with Busch and Suarez, but our radiator is damaged as well after that. So now we've got big issues because at the straight lines, obviously at the end of the straightaway, we are really getting beat at this point now. So I made a bit of a mistake getting the frustration got the best of me for sure on that one. But, I mean, we got punted by a couple guys already, and Truex kind of was the last straw. He punted me into turns 1, pushed me up the hill when we were already 3 wide. So I said, okay, that's enough. We're going to get revenge on Truex. So we went down into turn 3, and I just drove right through him. So, surprisingly, though, we were passing these slower cars still. Obviously, they're slower. Obviously, we can definitely get past them, even with this heavy damage on the car. So we had moved up into P6 at this point now, but the leader was 7.5-ish seconds ahead. So the chances of catching him were pretty low as we went past Busch or Priest, sorry, to move up into the top 5 at this point now as we came through. Looking to the inside of Sorensen now on lap 101 as we head down towards turns 1. There's a car on the inside spun around, and the caution's going to come out here with 24 laps to go in Martinsville. A wild race so far at the Paperclip, setting up for a potential wild finish now as you get ready to restart P3 behind Ryan Blaney, who has 1 win this season already at ISM Raceway. Back to Benedetto in P2 now as the green flag is out for potentially the final time here with 21 laps to go as we head down towards turns 1 to the inside already of the 95 of Matt DiBenedetto. Now as we exit turn 2, we easily clear the 95, but knowing now it's going to be a bit of a challenge to pass the 12 and beat Ryan Blaney because of this heavy damage we have on the front end. The front bumper's red, the aero is killed in this car, and the radiator is moderately damaged, so it's going to be a tough one. Now is pretty much we're just going to have to move him out of the way. I don't think we're going to be able to pass Blaney cleanly with the damage that we have and be able to get away from him now as we go down the straightaway into turn 3 with 20 to go at this point. Just running out of time, obviously, but we're still right on the back of Blaney at this point now as we head down the straightaway. But you see on the straightaway, he just pulls away there, and now as we came through on lap 114, Blaney now stretching the gap here as we approach 11 laps to go. We're running down lap traffic though, which is going to be huge for me. Now as we go down into turn 3, there's trouble ahead again. William Byron blows the tire, and he collects a couple other cars there as he gets airborne there down the straightaway, and the caution's going to fly as we drive past that incident and pass Ryan Blaney in the process and take over the lead now in Martinsville. So this puts us up front now for this restart with less than 10 laps to go in Martinsville. Now as the green flag is out, still going to be tough to beat Ryan Blaney. You see on the restart already, he has already got the edge as we go down into turns 1. 8 laps remain here in Martinsville. DiBenedetto and Logano on the row behind now as we exit turn 2 side by side with Ryan Blaney. Just don't have the longest straightaway speed to be able to edge ahead of Blaney now as he has the edge through turn 3 and turn 4, doing what I can to just stay with his, or stay on the inside of him now as across the line. Now 7 to go. He's going to get clear as we go down into turns 1. We're going to give him the bumper, but he doesn't even budge now as we exit turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. There you see him driving away at this point. Now as we're going to send it into turn 3, maybe give him the bumper, trying to move him, but he does not budge again. And now as we came through with 2 laps to go here in Martinsville, still behind him as we had actually been able to stick with him a bit now as Logano is right behind me as well as we head down the back straightaway, approaching the final lap. Not quite close enough to get to his bumper, and we need to be close enough. We need to nail turns 1 in turns 2 if we want to have a shot to move Blaney out of the way. Now as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway, that was one of the best turn 3 and turn 4s I've had, as the white flag is out now as we go down into turns 1 through turns 2. We make a bit of a mistake though, hitting the curb, and now wide we go, and Blaney has this race won at this point. Now as we go down the back straightaway, he's going to send it in deep into turn 3, but it's not going to be enough as we slide up the hill a bit. Ryan Blaney comes out of turn 4 to get win number 2 on the season, and we're going to get our second place finish in a row. A wild race in Martinsville. Short track tempers certainly came into play there. We finished second somehow, and really I consider that a great result. Obviously I would have loved to win, but the damage was so heavy on the front end that I just didn't have the speed I needed right there at the end. Obviously I tried to get to his bumper, couldn't do anything with Blaney, unfortunately, but really with how the car was, we shouldn't even have been in the top 10. But now we have a lot of drivers angry with me after that one, and I was certainly pretty aggravated. Eric Jones, potentially a rival. I didn't really mean to get into Jones whenever I did, so I apologize to him. But Martin Truex Jr. now a rival, and I'm not going to apologize to Truex. I provoked him, obviously, for what happened. William Byron, our teammate, he's not happy with me. A lot of guys not happy with me. We only made enemies in this race, and then we got Eric Almirola as well, who is not very happy with me. So we're going to apologize to him as well. So certainly a crazy race. Truex now a rival again, our second rival that we've had in our Cup Series career. The same guy though. Truex was our rival a few seasons ago. So as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. A crazy race here in Martinsville. In the next one, we go to Texas, another track that I struggle at for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. Apparently no Truck Series for Martinsville anytime soon. I don't know why it's so glitched with the schedule, but we'll see how it goes there. As you see the playoff grid, Almirola the last car in, so I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.